CDL Practice Test, Florida, General Knowledge, Part 3. Question number 52. Which of the following is not a likely effect of overloading a truck? A. Overloading a vehicle can cause it to gain too much speed on downgrades. B. Overloading a vehicle causes an increase in the time it takes to stop. C. Overloading a vehicle can have a negative effect on steering. D. Overloading a vehicle makes it more likely the vehicle will stall. The correct answer is here, D. Overloading a vehicle makes it more likely the vehicle will stall. Explanation. Lack of steering control, speed control, and braking control are the primary concerns with an overloaded vehicle. Stalling your vehicle is unlikely to be affected by overloading. Question number 53. Name some important steering system parts. A. Mainspring, axle, and spring shackle. B. Leaf spring, vehicle frame, and torque rod. C. Tie rod, spindle, and pitman arm. The correct answer is here, C. Tie rod, spindle, and pitman arm. Explanation. The pitman arm, spindle, tie rod, and steering gearbox are all parts of the steering system. Question number 54. If you have been drinking alcohol before you drive, you should A. Wait for it to wear off. B. Take a cold shower. C. Drink coffee. The correct answer is here, A. Wait for it to wear off. Explanation. Your body breaks down alcohol at a predictable rate. Typically, this is 1 standard drink per hour, where 1 standard drink equals 1.5 ounces of hard liquor, 5 ounces of wine, or 12 ounces of beer. Neither coffee nor fresh air nor a cold shower can increase that rate. You need to wait until the alcohol has been broken down. Question number 55. Which of these statements about double clutching and shifting is true? A. Double clutching should not be used when the road is slippery. B. Double clutching should only be used with a heavy load. C. You can use the tachometer to tell you when to shift. The correct answer is here, C. You can use the tachometer to tell you when to shift. Explanation. One way to determine when to upshift is with your tachometer. Before driving your vehicle, check the driver's manual to find out the recommended operating RPM range. As you're driving, keep your eye on your tachometer as your vehicle increases speed. Shift up when engine RPM gets to the top of the recommended range. Question number 57. In relation to impaired driving, what does the acronym BAC stand for? A. Best achievable concentration. B. Badly affected concentration. C. Best achievable control. D. Blood alcohol concentration. The correct answer is here, D. Blood alcohol concentration. Explanation. BAC, blood alcohol concentration, is the amount of alcohol in your bloodstream. The more alcohol is in your bloodstream, the worse your driving will be. Your BAC is affected by the amount drunk, the speed the alcohol was drunk at, and personal weight. Question number 58. An anti-lock braking system, ABS, will A. Increase a vehicle's stopping power. B. Let you drive faster. C. Not change the way you brake normally. D. Shorten your stopping distance. The correct answer is here. C. Not change the way you brake normally. Explanation. ABS only kicks in to prevent the wheels from locking up when you brake hard. ABS does not change the way you normally brake. It doesn't eliminate the need for careful braking, defensive driving, good brakes, and good maintenance. Question number 59. Your blood alcohol concentration, back, depends on your A. Body weight, B. Age, C. Height. The correct answer is here. A. Body weight. Explanation. Your blood alcohol concentration, back, is affected by how much alcohol you drink, how quickly you drink it, and how much you weigh. The larger your body, the larger the volume through which the alcohol has to spread. Question number 60. What should you do before driving if you are sleepy? A. Get some sleep. B. Take some caffeine pills. C. Drink some coffee. The correct answer is here. A. Get some sleep. Explanation. Caffeine pills or caffeinated drinks can increase awareness for a few hours, but as with most other stimulants, after the caffeine wears off, you may crash, feel even more drowsy and tired than you did before the caffeine. The only real cure for sleepiness is sleep. Question number 61. You should check the following for looseness, sticking, damage, or improper settings. A. Steering wheel and transmission controls. B. Accelerator, brakes, and clutch pedals. C. Both to the answers are correct. The correct answer is here. C. Both to the answers are correct. Explanation. During step 3 of the 7-step inspection method, confirm that the steering wheel, clutch, gas pedal, brakes, transmission, horn, windshield wipers, lights, and turn signals are all in good condition and neither sticking nor too loose. There are other actions you must perform in this step as well. Question number 62. What should you do when you are being followed too closely? A. Increase following distance. B. Hit the brakes. C. Decrease following distance. D. Make a rapid lane change out of the situation. The correct answer is here. A. Increase following distance. Explanation. If you are being followed too closely, you should avoid any sudden changes, including braking or changing lanes. Instead, increase your following distance. This way, the tailgater can pass and or you will have more reaction time for any problems. Question number 63. Which of the following is not a key steering system component? A. Tie rod. B. Steering wheel. C. Gearbox. D. Axle. The correct answer is here. D. Axle. Explanation. While the axle is an integral part of your vehicle, it is not a key part of the steering system. which includes the parts mentioned in the steering column, arm and knuckle, as well as the hydraulic fluid reservoir, pitman arm, and spindle. Question number 64. You are testing the stopping action of service brakes on a hydraulic system. Which of these can mean there is a problem? A. The vehicle pulls to one side when the brake pedal is pressed. B. The brake pedal goes to the floor. C. Both of the above are correct. The correct answer is here. C. Both of the above are correct. Explanation. When testing the service brakes, check the following. Open bracket. 1. Whether the brake pedal holds up or sinks to the floor. Open bracket. 2. Whether the vehicle seems to pull to one side. Open bracket. 3. Whether it takes longer than it should to stop your vehicle. And 4. Whether the brakes just feel strange, based on your experience driving comparable CMVs. Any of these signs can indicate a problem with the brake system that should be corrected before you drive the vehicle. Question number 65. To avoid rollbacks when you start, you should A. Engage the clutch very quickly. B. Stop on a flat area. C. Partly engage the clutch before you take your right foot off the brake. The correct answer is here. C. Partly engage the clutch before you take your right foot off the brake. Explanation. When you start your vehicle, avoid rolling backward or else you may hit someone behind you. Set the parking brake whenever necessary to keep from rolling back. Release the parking brake only when you have applied enough engine power to keep from rolling back. If you have a manual transmission vehicle, partly engage the clutch before you take your right foot off the brake. On a tractor trailer equipped with a trailer brake hand valve, the hand valve can be applied to keep from rolling back. Question number 66. Which of these statements is true about other drivers? A. Mail or delivery truck drivers do not pose a hazard. B. Short-term or daily rental truck drivers are often not used to the limited vision and pose a hazard. C. Drivers using turn signals can be trusted to turn in the direction they indicate. The correct answer is here. B. Short-term or daily rental truck drivers are often not used to the limited vision and pose a hazard. Explanation. A car driver who has never driven a truck before will be unused to a rental truck's size and limited view toward its sides and rear. This lack of truck driving experience makes a rental truck a hazard on the road. Question number 67. What are some advantages of going right instead of left around an obstacle? A. Someone may be passing to the left. B. You can avoid a head-on collision. C. Both of these answers are correct. The correct answer is here. C. Both of these answers are correct. Explanation. Steering to the left of a hazard can cause you to move into the path of an oncoming vehicle or a vehicle that is trying to pass you on the left. Question number 68. A driver's logbook, A. may be brought up to date once a week. B. may be written in pencil. C. must be shown immediately when an officer requests it. The correct answer is here. C. must be shown immediately when an officer requests it. Explanation. If you're transporting hazardous materials, a law enforcement officer may stop you to inspect your vehicle. The officer may check your logbook or electronic logging device, shipping papers, vehicle placards, and the hazmat endorsement on your CDL. If your logbook is not up to date, you may be cited and placed out of service for some specified amount of time. Question number 69. Retarders are used by A. Robotics, B. Brake system, C. Exhaust, electrical, hydraulics, and engine. The correct answer here, C. Exhaust, electrical, hydraulics, and engine. Explanation. There are 4 basic types of retarders: exhaust, engine, hydraulic, and electric. Question number 71. Which of these statements is not true? A. Alcohol goes directly from the stomach to the bloodstream. B. Your blood alcohol level, BAC, is determined by how fast you drink, how much you drink, and how much you weigh. C. A drinker can control how fast his or her body absorbs and gets rid of alcohol. The correct answer here, C. A drinker can control how fast his or her body absorbs and gets rid of alcohol. Explanation. When you drink alcohol, it goes directly from your stomach into the bloodstream. Your body breaks down alcohol at a predictable rate. Typically, this is 1 standard drink per hour, where 1 standard drink equals 1.5 ounces of hard liquor, 5 ounces of wine, or 12 ounces of beer. Neither coffee nor fresh air nor a cold shower can increase that rate. You need to wait until the alcohol has been broken down. Question number 72. If the vehicle you are driving has hydraulic brakes, how do you test for leaks? A. Pump the brake pedal 5 times fast and quickly let go. B. Look under the cab for signs of brake fluid. C. Pump the brakes twice and hold down for a minimum of 10 seconds. D. Pump the brake pedal 3 times, then firmly push the pedal for 5 seconds. The correct answer here, D. Pump the brake pedal 3 times, then firmly push the pedal for 5 seconds. Explanation. If pumping the brakes and holding the pedal for 5 seconds causes the pedal to move, there may be a hydraulic brake leak that needs to be addressed before driving the vehicle. Question number 73. Why should you only remove your radiator cap when the system is cool? A. The cap will only come off when the system is cool and trying to pry it loose may break the cap and cause injury. B. Coolant can only be added when the system is cooled off. C. Adding coolant while the system is hot may cause the fluid to evaporate and therefore cause the engine to overheat. D. The radiator system is under pressure and you can get burned. The correct answer here, D. The radiator system is under pressure and you can get burned. Explanation. There is pressure in the radiator. If you remove the cap while it is hot, you can cause the pressure to erupt suddenly, spraying yourself and risking severe burns. Question number 74. What amount of sleep the night before triples your risk of falling asleep at the wheel? A. 4 hours. B. 2 hours. C. 3 hours. D. 6 hours. The correct answer is D. 6 hours. Explanation. People are often surprised when they find out that it takes just 2 missing hours from getting 8 hours of sleep per night to put you at severely increased risk of an accident. Pilots are not allowed to fly under such conditions, and you should not drive in them either. Question number 75. The parking brake should be tested while the vehicle is A. moving slowly, B. going downhill, C. moving at highway speed, D. parked. The correct answer is D. parked. Explanation. To test the parking brakes, fasten safety belt, set parking brake, release trailer parking brake, place vehicle into a low gear, gently pull forward against parking brake to make sure the parking brake holds. If it doesn't hold vehicle, it is faulty, get it fixed.